Today, we're tackling two of the most searched topics on our drphil.com website, love and money. Now, in relationships, is one more important than the other? For these two single women in their 20s, money rules everything around them. Meet Beige and Michelle. They say they use their sex appeal to get what they want from men. Cars, cash, jewelry, trips to Paris. We're not just talking about dinner here. They are proud to call themselves gold diggers, self-proclaimed gold diggers. First, let's meet Beige, who calls men her personal ATM machine.
I'm Beige, and I'm a 24-year-old self-proclaimed gold digger. Men want women for sex, and women want men for money. Dating is not on my mind. My goal is all about Benjamin. The right type of man would be a man who has the funds and the mentality to spoil me. I can't be bought. I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not looking for intimacy. I'm just focused on getting as much as I can out of life, both materialistically and in other ways. Sex is the last thing on my mind.
Well, at least she's honest, at least partially. Sex may be the last thing on her mind, but apparently money isn't. But yet she says she can't be bought? Her friend Michelle is also a gold digger and says Beige taught her everything she knows about getting money from men.
I have fun gold digging. It's like a game. I make my own money, but if men are willing to give me their money for free, I'll take it. Beige taught me everything about getting money from men, shopping sprees, getting my bills paid. I believe I have the ability to turn the switch off on the whole gold digging thing. Beige doesn't. This is her life. She's never gonna stop. She doesn't want to have any relationship with any of the men that she gets the money from. If they only knew how she talks about them. Ew, I just had to go out to eat with him. He's so ugly and disgusting. And I'm like, then why are you even around him? She's like, cuz he pays my bill.
Well, Beige says her goal is all about the Benjamin. She even has what she calls a gold digging kit that she says every woman should have, and she never leaves home without it.
This, my dear, is the gold digging kit. Lip gloss. This is a diamond tester. I use it for gifts instead of going all the way to the jewelry store to see if it's real. I use my diamond tester. The last thing is a counterfeit detector pen, because I wasn't fortunate enough to have received some fake bills a couple years ago. It'll never happen again.
Well, Beige allowed our cameras to follow her as she went on the prowl, I assume with her diamond tester and her counterfeit pen. She was on the prowl for wealthy men.
My goal for tonight is to get a dress, a camera, or a BlackBerry. I mean that I'm gonna find a man to buy those items for me. The key to attracting men is to dress, show off. Okay, maybe not that much, but show off a little something, something form-fitting, you know? Usually I step in the club by myself because it's easier to get noticed when I'm not with a group of people. Men like women who don't pay much attention to them. So one strategy I have is I usually go straight to the bar and buy my own drink. Most of the time, somebody comes up just in time so I don't have to pay for it.
I went to Club Dream and I'm a bit disappointed. It was packed with people, but not the type of people I'm after. I'm more into quality than quantities. My plan is to go to Provocateur. I heard the crowd there is a little bit more my speed.
She's so hot, man. So I want to take her to my home right now. I work in the restaurant.
He was a waiter. Nothing wrong with waiters, but how is he gonna support me? It probably won't work.
Okay, so I am fascinated by this. I'm fascinated, A, that you do it, and B, that it's just okay.
Well, for the most part, I think it's okay because most of the time men approach me. And I feel like the main reason why they're approaching me is for sex.
Well, if I see a dog on the street, I approach it, but I don't mean I need to get bit.
True,
I mean, I just
true.
want to pet the dog. I don't need
I'm not biting them. Most of the time, they offer, and I accept it.
You're biting their wallet.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And you are in training, right?
Right.
She's-
And I agree. I mean, I agree with her because most of the men that she gets, they have money to burn. Like, it's nothing to them. So it's not really biting their wallet.
Why should they give it to you?
Why do they give it to me? I guess because they're expecting something else in return.
You think?
Yeah. They don't really get it. Well, they don't get it at all.
So you don't have sex with any of these guys?
No.
How do you decide what you're after? Because you've said you'll decide you want a iPod or a car, or how do you decide what you're after?
Well, a couple years ago, I came up with something that I call a wish list, and I write down everything that I want from short term to long term. And every time I meet someone, it's my goal to have them take something, well, get something off that list for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a list?
Oh, no, I don't. I don't have a list.
Oh, well, that's right. You're just a trainee. So, you haven't perfected a list. Like, what's the biggest thing on your list?
Ooh, my house, which I already got.
Somebody bought you a house.
They gave me the money, and I bought the house.
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
That is your job.
Well, that's something I do on the side. That's just a hobby. My main goal is to make my own money, which I run my own company. It's a talent agency. Been running that for 3 years, and also model and act as well.
So you'll meet a guy,
Right.
or some guy will come up to you, and you know, come on, you're advertising, right? You go out there, you dress provocatively, you go to target-rich environments, you get in places where you'll draw attention from men that have money.
I dress how most women would dress when they go out on a night out in town, yes.
Well, it's pretty provocative.
Yeah, and we've been
Yeah,
out.
form
We've been
fitting.
out dressed
I
regular.
am comfortable with my body.
Okay,
yeah.
well, we'll call it form-fitted.
Okay, form fitted.
So you get form-fitted,
Right.
and you go into a target-rich environment, and you're thinking, okay, I want to go to Paris. So you're looking around for somebody that will take you to Paris.
Well, wherever I go, men are going to approach me, whether it's in a rich environment or a poor environment. I rather attract the richer men. Is there
Yeah.
something wrong with that?
You tell me.
No.
Apparently you don't think so either. Because you say you could quit this, but she couldn't. That she's a dyed-in-the-wool
Right.
gold digger and will be forever.
Right, and
What
that's
do you mean by
that.
that?
Like,
Okay,
she doesn't ever want to settle down with anybody or
Do you
get
ever look
married.
at her and think that's really crass?
I do. I think it's just not normal. It's not human. Like, I think everybody eventually wants to settle down with somebody and get married. I mean, females, like, that's what we want. We want to have a wedding and
She
all
doesn't
this
seem
kind
like a
of
very good student.
But I mean,
Because she's kind of throwing you under the bus.
No, she has her own goals,
Yeah.
and she's kind of right. Right now, my main priority is not marriage or settling down. It's
Well,
about my career.
You said, and let me give you a few quotes that you said, because I want to be sure I understand these right. You said that you use every guy you meet just for their money.
Pretty much every guy who approaches me to try to have sex with me, try to get on that personal sexual level, yes.
You say men use women for sex, so why not use men for money?
Right.
Well, that doesn't make it right. Do you think it's wrong that men just approach women for sex, in your opinion?
Yes.
Well, wouldn't it then be wrong in your tit-for-tat world that you use them for money?
I'm
Wouldn't
just
that-
getting them before they get me.
You refer to men as targets and victims.
Pretty much.
it's like that.
Pretty
I don't
much.
that
make
women
men
are
the way
gay.
they are. I just capitalize off their weakness.
Right.
So how do you spot a rich guy?
Well, there's no one specific technique. Some people look like they have a lot of money and they really don't, but most of the guys who really have money are low key.
So have you scanned the audience?
No, I haven't had the time to.
Haven't had the time?
No, I've been focused on Dr.
You've been
Phil.
focused on me?
Yes.
I'm not sure it's because... I think she's kind of focused on me like you would focus on a rattlesnake. If somebody threw one on the floor, you would watch it real close
Watch
because
it
you
for
wonder
the
what I'm
attack.
going to ask next.
Right.
But I couldn't possibly ask either one of you anything that's more incriminating than what you've already said about yourselves.
I hear you.
So I use men for money, I'm a gold digger, I make no apologies for it, and they owe it to me.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I'm a very hard worker. I've been working.
Well, that's the way you look at it, because that's what you said.
Yes,
Those are your
because I've been
words.
working since I was 15. I've put myself through college, worked 2 jobs. I've been on my own since I was 17. And I started in the modeling and entertainment industry when I was about 18 by myself. And I got tired men approaching me just like that. Okay, I want to get in your magazine. Yes, you can be in my magazine, but you're gonna have to sleep with me. You're gonna have to go to dinner with me. It can be business, but pleasure also. I got tired of that, and I guess that was a defense mechanism.
Okay, but now, just to be clear, you and I only met now, right?
Right.
So you're not on the show because we've made a deal.
Right.
Okay, all right. Just want to be clear about this.
You know how I am and why I am.
You know, it'd be the day Robin isn't here, and
All this stuff was purchased by men. Gucci purchased in LA, $300. Gucci again, $500. Prada shades, Versace shades, Dolce & Gabbana again. This one was from Paris. This is mine. Bestest watch in the whole wide world. Yeah, all these are gifts from men.
Well, Beige and Michelle are two self-proclaimed gold diggers. I mean, that's not my label, that's theirs. They go after actors, musicians, music producers, and athletes. They say they can spot a man with money a mile away. This morning, I hear one of our limo drivers tried to ask these ladies out. Not too much interested. Let's see what happens.
What is this show about?
Gold diggers.
Rich people are sexy. They got that swag. When you have money, you got that swag. You're sexy.
Guys who really have it, they don't have to be on Front Street. They don't have to overdo it. They don't have to prove anything to anybody.
You guys going out tonight?
Yes, sir.
Going out with anybody?
By ourselves.
I usually don't go to the club with guys because that kind of defeats the purpose.
So what would be the benefit of you going out with us? Like, do you know owners of clubs and stuff so we can just walk in and we don't have to...
I know a few people, but I don't,
You want to be like the bodyguard?
Anything like that?
Okay, now you had a waiter come up to you earlier, right?
Yes.
And you weren't much interested in waiters, limo drivers. What if you miss a really nice guy?
Well, I guess I never know what I missed, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, really. Because you should grow up like me, being bald-headed since I was 12. I mean, every cute
But
girl
the
in the
amount
world
of
was like, not so much.
The amount of guys who come up to me, am I going to take time out of my day to weed through all of them?
Well, but
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of energy.
So you might kiss a few frogs, but I mean, what if one of them was like your prince?
After you go through like 99.
Well, the limo driver that Michelle snubbed, he isn't really a limo driver. He's actually made NFL history when he signed the biggest contract for a defensive player in history, $76 million. Please welcome the man behind those glasses, Super Bowl champion with the Indianapolis Colts, Dwight Freeney. Michelle,
How you doing?
we'll put you down here. Okay, so you didn't get much of a second look, right?
Not much, but, I understand the circumstances a little bit
Tell the
different.
truth.
I couldn't really tell. I looked back. She said that she'll go out. So, I was
I told him I'd give him a chance. Dinner was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't, overly aggressive. I'm saying that she had to be. But...
And you said that he could be your bodyguard.
Yeah, I said that.
I told him,
Well, you got a good...
Only because
He could certainly be your bodyguard, no question about
only
that.
because he's a guy going out with two. This is my first time in LA. I wanted to go out, just me and her, have fun, go out, not have any guys tag along.
Actually, I told him that I had contacts at the club and I'd actually get him in.
Yeah, get me in the club or something like that.
Would get you in.
Yeah, but I guess in the beginning it was kind of like, well, can you get us in the club? What can you do?
Right. I said that.
I didn't know.
I said, what can
Come
you
on,
do?
I know
I don't want to
better.
stand in line.
So, let's see. The contract we all read about was $76 million. That's for knocking a lot of people down regularly. Okay? And boy, do you do that well. What do you think? You really worry about this gold digging, right?
Yeah, it becomes a concern, and it kind of changes your lifestyle and how you go about things. As a guy, you want to go out there and find somebody who's genuine, somebody that's really, likes you for you. And that becomes difficult, and it really slows down the process. And a lot of probably good women, don't even get the opportunity because we're so turned off from it.
Do you worry? Are they interested in you or your money?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens, man. You don't know. I mean, all your stuff is public knowledge. And they can just go on Google, type your name in, bam, it pops up right there.
Interested in me or just sex?
I'm sorry?
Same thing. Right. Are they interested in me or just sex? And most of them are interested in sex, or sex first and foremost.
Do you agree with that?
Not really. I mean, I'm sure there are guys. I mean, let's say there are guys who are just worried about that. But, there's a lot of guys who are not, who go out there and just want to meet the person and have their relationship develop.
What's the majority?
But you don't know. I mean, there's a big majority. There's all types of guys everywhere.
Do you think that when you go out, you dress sexually?
Yeah, sometimes.
Because you're saying that that's all men are interested in, but yet you dress in a way that just says sex.
Yeah, sometimes I get the same approach, or men still come at me when I'm in flip-flops and sweats.
Everybody makes a statement. When you go out, the way you dress makes a statement. Some guy comes in and, he's got on a floppy hat and saggy and untied tennis shoes and stuff. He's that's actually my son I'm thinking about, George. But, they make that. But when you're dressed this way, then that says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
What's that statement? What statement does that make?
That I'm sexy, I'm confident in myself.
Okay, so you're going out saying, my statement is I'm sexy, and I'm going to criticize you for responding to that stimulus.
Because even when I don't dress like that, they still come at me.
Well, you seem to have a chip on your shoulder about the fact that men and women have sexual tension between them.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just tired of women getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of women, I've heard a lot of stories, and I'm just sick of it.
So you say all you're interested in is money. So if you met Dwight, even if you knew who he was and all of that, and went to a game, watched him play, then went out, you would still just be focused on what you could get out of him?
I never really take it past, going to a game and getting to know somebody.
How do you get men to give you these things then? If all men want is sex and you don't give it, then why are they doing it?
You don't tell them up front that they're not going to get it. So, of course, they're going to try to impress you.
So this is bait and switch.
I guess now it is. Now it is.
Okay, well, this is going to be a lot harder game to run because you got millions of people watching you right now saying...
I'll be fine.
All right, today, gold diggers reveal their secrets for attracting wealthy men. But some women don't agree with this strategy at all. Lauren Lake is married to an NFL coach and sees women trying to get money out of the players all the time, and she says it is despicable. Dwight Freeney of the Indianapolis Colts has to decipher between a real woman and a gold digger. Lucia is the host of Art and Love on LA talk radio station KFI AM and says there's nothing wrong with what Beige and Michelle are doing. Why do you say that?
Well, Dr. Phil, as a relationship expert, I have to look at things pragmatically and objectively. And when people hear the word gold digger, there's an automatic negative knee-jerk reaction.
Well, yeah.
Right, okay. But if you
look it up in the dictionary.
Absolutely. But, I think it goes back to biology. Men are programmed, especially men of money, power, and status. They want the best-looking women that their money can buy. So they want 9s and 10s. Someone that's a 5 is not going to be able to be a gold digger. And conversely, a 9 or a 10 is going to want someone of money, power, and status. So the two things go together.
Really?
Really?
Well, I got a pretty cute wife, and
you do.
And I had 2 dimes to rub together when I met her, but we've been married 32, 33 years.
But I'm sure you had goals. But I'm sure you had goals and plans that you were working towards.
Oh,
and
sure.
Maybe
Together.
That's what she saw.
Together, actually. You think this is despicable?
I do. I think it's such small thinking. And we live in a day and age where women can do and become anything they want to be. And you would really set your sights this low, that you would want to attach yourself to a man with money without having your own, or just say to yourself, I don't need to manipulate anyone to get anything on my wish list. I can work and buy it for myself and get sheer satisfaction out of that. I think that you're limiting yourself.
And I agree. And what you see is just one aspect of me. Like I wrote in my book, it's about goals, G-O-A-Ls. You write out your wish list or you write out your goals, whatever you want to accomplish in life, and you work towards that. Making money, making your own money should be your #1 priority. If a man wants to give you his money, if he wants to wine and dine you, take you to trips, wherever, shopping sprees, then take that also.
Well, I don't think you have to take that, though, because you think you're getting something for free, but you're paying a bigger price than you want to admit. Everyone in this audience can see the price that you're paying, Beige. You get so angry as you talk about every time a man approaches you, it's about sex. No, I'm not angry at all. I'm just trying to speak to you because, no, I'm passionate. I'm passionate about young women like yourself who are beautiful and capable, and you underestimate and you limit your living because you base it upon money and 10 pairs of sunglasses.
I'm passionate.
They're for sale all over the United States. You can buy them for yourself.
I have to disagree because, I mean, there was a point in my life when nobody taught me about men or whatever. And when I went away to college, I went to a college and I had all these type of men and all these men hitting on me and whatever. And I went on dates and I was naive about men. I got taken advantage of.
I went taken advantage of, but that doesn't mean you turn
but after I met Beige and learned about her outlook and read her book.
People out here haven't gotten taken advantage of once by a man?
Okay.
You don't turn into a gold digger because of that.
But all you're doing
Wait a minute, hold on.
You're not taking it.
Hold on, there are some nice guys out there.
Yeah, there are.
I mean, there are some nice guys out there.
There are?
Yeah. I feel like estrogen is coming up. No, but you feel like how do you test? You say you have to test them to see whether they're gold diggers or not.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta kind of put them through a little process. I guess everybody's different, but mine's is, for the most part, the test of time. I just kind of lean back and just, I'm gonna see how she really is. First initially you meet somebody, that's like the fake, the mask, okay, hey, what it is, but you don't know. So I sit back, who knows how long it's gonna be, but eventually, you see signs of things come in,
You don't give any presents for like 2 or 3 months, like not even Christmas presents ring, right?
I mean, it depends on the relationship, but for the most part, no, and I have to know her, and it has to be something real. It can't be some superficial, I just met her, all of a sudden I'm giving gifts to her and all of that because
exactly, and those type of men, they only do that to try to get in your pants. So the men who give me stuff up front is a men I'm very leery of.
So is it on layaway or something? They give you the gift up front, and then it's on layaway. You're not something at the store for them to purchase later. Who cares if they give it to you now or later? You can buy it yourself. You have a talent
I do buy it myself. All my money goes to invest in. It goes in my bank account. Their money buys me the stuff I like.
All right, is it true what they say? Do men only want women for sex and women only want men for money? Helping us debate this issue are Michelle and Beige, 2 self-proclaimed gold diggers, and Lucia, LA talk show host. Also joining us is Dwight Freeney, NFL star, who says that he has tricked women in order to see if they're being real with him or if they just want his money. And Lauren Lake, she's married to an Indianapolis Colts coach and says gold digging is demeaning and undignified. Now, before the show, we asked our audience what they had to say about gold diggers. Now, Cameron, you say they just make you bitter.
Yeah, you know what? It's sad because it seems like our society is getting to a point where if you don't have, no offense, man, if you don't have the $76 million contract, if you don't have the private jet, if you don't have all this, then you're just kind of taking up space. And like she said, you don't have time to get know the normal guys. Well, if you're not taking that time, you'll never find that normal guy. There'll never be that guy you want to settle down with because you're always on the surface. You're not willing to dig deep.
So you don't think these girls would give you a chance?
From the things I heard, you know what? I don't think it would be a match made in heaven anyway.
But isn't Cameron, wouldn't you say he's a good-looking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, he's got a nice smile. He's got a...
I'm already in a relationship, so I'm not looking for anybody. That's why I gold dig, because I already have a man. If somebody else approaches me and wants to give me money or gifts or whatever, I'll take it.
Okay, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
So I'm not looking. That's why I'm.
But you're in a relationship and you still work men for money?
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I don't work them for money. They come, they offer. I don't work anything. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
But men just walk up and say,
No.
Can I buy you an iPod?
No, that's not how it works. They walk up to me and they ask me, they start conversation. Eventually they want your number or something like that. You know where it's gonna lead. If a guy approaches you and starts talking to you and wants your number, what does he want your number for?
Lucia, what do you think about that?
Well, I'd like to address something Lauren said, the fact that she said that to be a gold digger is demeaning and undignified. Well, you know what? Some people would find going on welfare and using food stamps demeaning and undignified. They find living paycheck to paycheck and wondering if they're going to be able to pay the bills next month, or they're going to be homeless and have their home foreclosed on, demeaning and undignified. So you may find that way, but gold diggers, they actually find it empowering.
Actually, I think you're fooling yourself if you don't think this is 2 sandwiches short of what I call the prostitution picnic. You're kidding yourself. You're kidding yourself. 2 sandwiches short.
I totally disagree. A prostitute has sex with anyone who will pay
You
her.
start off cocktailing at lunch. Next thing you know, you're on the pole at lunch. Next thing you know, you're on the pole at night. Next thing you know, you're going home for money. This is a slippery slope. You guys, be honest with yourselves. This isn't right. You know that. You know it's not right, so don't justify it. Just say that you do it.
I'm not selling my body. I'm not lying to these men. I'm not promising them anything. If they come to me up front and ask me if they're going to sleep with me, if they're going to get this or that, I tell them no.
And they just say, well, I just want to buy you this $1,000 Gucci bag anyway.
A challenge. Men love a challenge.
Exactly, they're predators.
But you know what? I will give you this. There are some men who will throw a $1,000 Gucci bag at you for just to see if you're going to have sex with them. And sorry, Dwight, to make you the poster boy, but it's $2 to him.
Exactly.
And that's my point. Why sell yourself short? Your temple. Why are you bartering that for?
I'm not bartering it. That's the whole point.
That you know that they're coming at you for sex, so you get the bag. You're, like Dr. Phil said, bait and switch. You might get a little, but give me these sunglasses first. Okay, I got the glasses, now you're not getting any.
I'm open for negotiations.
Isn't that what it is?
Well, it sounds like to me. All right, Jessica, what do you say about this?
I just think that you guys are horrible role models for young women because you guys have nothing to offer but a good piece of arm candy for a man.
You think so?
I think so because, I mean, fake breasts and Botox can only get you so far. It's what, like, women...
I have no plastic surgery.
Feel that way.
I'm sorry?
I said, sorry to hear you feel that way, but I have a lot more to offer than how I look.
Well, it doesn't seem that way because you just work these men, you fool these men into thinking that you are going to give them something.
I don't fool them. I don't lead them on.
My next guest, Emily, sent me a video via webcam telling me that she has been wrongly accused of gold digging. And her best friend, Andrea, says she's fed up with Emily stringing guys along for their money.
I like the men that travel. I like the men that have a little money on top of it.
She's a gold digger. Remember that, Dr. Phil. Watch out.
We went to a nightclub the other night, and Andrea was there with her husband, but his brother was there, who is also incredibly good looking. And so I was just curious what he did in his free time.
I get a text from Emily asking about his income. Right away, I was like, things aren't gonna work out, Emily, because you're asking about his money.
She texted me back one word, gold digger. And this is...
No, I said, you're a gold digger.
Okay, if you like a restaurant, why date a guy that can take you there when you could just go straight for the owner?
And she likes the older men, of course.
I love the Grays. Dr. Phil, if anything happens between you and Rob, your producers have my number.
Well, Andrea says there's one guy in particular that has Emily's number, and she's been stringing him along because he has money and buys her the craziest gifts. Here's what Emily has to say about that.
Nick used to leave me gifts on my car, and I finally one day told him not to give me another gift or another rose until it was made out of pure platinum. A couple weeks later, I came out to my car to find a rose made out of platinum laying on the hood. I told Nick that I didn't want anything for Christmas unless he could give me the world. He couldn't give me the world, but he did shock me by giving me documents from NASA registering me with a couple acres on the moon. At least the boy's creative.
Okay, so you don't think you're a gold digger?
I've never specifically gone out with somebody for their money. flat out, hands down.
But you play this. How long have you been stringing this guy on?
Since we were like 15.
So 7 years?
Not funny. I mean, it's not funny, but the thing is that I've told him a million times, Nick, I'm not interested in you for anything more than a friendship. Then he gets attached and buys me all these gifts and thinks that something else is gonna happen.
And you accept them?
I kept the rose and the moon. I mean, come on, that's kind of classic. But everything else I've turned down, and I've told him, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. You know that. And
you
then his
think
heart
she's a
gets
gold
broken.
digger?
Yes. I think when she sees a man with nice cars and nice things, that right away he might be accepted into her.
Do you think she's a gold digger?
I think she has a little trait, but probably not a full-fledged gold digger.
I think she just has high standards.
Would this worry you if you had this history on her? If you ran into her at the mall back in Indianapolis, would you go,
You know, it's too bad that, you know, this day and age, you know, everything's about money and how much you can make somebody, what you can give somebody. And I mean, that's paper thin. You know, that's pretty much, there's nothing behind that. It can be here today, gone tomorrow.
True. But it's not only the money, it's more about the mentality with the man who has the money. It says a lot about him. He's a hard worker. He shows dedication. He went to school for 4 years. He invested time. He made sacrifices. So that's what I'm attracted to. That's why I can never be with someone who doesn't have ambitions.
Exactly.
but you're not attracted to him because you say you don't want a relationship, you just want the stuff.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
I mean, you are a ball of contradictions here. What happens when beauty fades? Because let me tell you,
And it will.
pretty soon,
I wrote about that in my book.
pretty soon, face starts to get a few wrinkles and
Of course.
and things are where they didn't used to be.
True. You go to sagging, stuff go out of place. But I have a lot on the inside, but I'm not going to show that to just anybody. They're going to have to prove themselves to me when the time comes, when I'm ready for a relationship.
But if you got to get them before they get you attitude, it's you are actually a predator, is what you're saying. I'm going out there, I'm going to get them before they can get me. That makes you a predator.
Yeah, still, I don't approach them. It's still the ones who come to me.
Some girls only date short guys or tall guys. I happen to like guys with money as a characteristic. I don't think that that's gold digging.
Well, we've been talking about men, women, love, and money. Now, that was 21-year-old Emily who says she likes guys with money, and she doesn't think that makes her a gold digger. Her best friend, Andrea, disagrees. She says Emily strings men along for money. One guy even bought her a piece of the moon. He's been on for like 7 years. What do you think about this? Is there something wrong with wanting somebody that's successful and affluent and have money?
I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a person that has goals and that's successful. Let's be honest, being successful, that's an attractive thing. But what I find is missing from this conversation is, where are these women successful? Where is their money? Where is what are you bringing to the table besides cute?
Full-time student right now.
But
And
my
I work
thing is-
full-time, so I'm working on it myself. And I'm not interested in it being that serious of a relationship right now, so I don't date guys.
But what concerns me is that there may be someone out there that's in the same position as you, who's a student, not making a lot of money, but could love you to death and really respect you the way you want it. Now, you would count him out because he didn't have any money yet?
Something interesting
He could
is
be a
that
potential Dr. Phil.
My only long-term serious boyfriend that I've had, we didn't live together or anything, but I paid for all of our dates. He had no money. I loved his writing. That's how we met.
Well, you're making a good point that I am relate to, because the year before Robin and I got married, if it hadn't been for 2-for-1 burger bucks, one of us would have starved.
Right.
I mean, we got those 2-for-1s, and
Right.
without those, one of us would have not had anything to eat.
Absolutely. You never know who you're missing out on. So what I'm saying to ladies, especially to you ladies, you're beautiful, you're well-spoken, you're smart. Use that energy towards something positive instead of just manipulating men for nothing. All of those things that you showed on that bed in your tape, they'll be out of style next year. And then what do you have to do to get next year's
And that's why
goods?
I encourage women to budget, to save, to start using that money, invest it in a career,
I encourage
in
you
your
to
education.
go out and buy those same things that you go out and basically pimp men for. I encourage you to go out and buy them for yourself and feel the satisfaction you'll feel to know I need not ask anyone, entertain anyone, or deal with anyone on any level, sexually or otherwise, to get the things in life I want, because I can get them for myself.
Right, and I can get them for myself too.
I don't
But I'm not going to spend
I don't agree at all.
You will be in the position you are now, which is very replaceable, because
if
it's a dime a
if I
dozen.
had
A
millions
gold
of dollars,
digger's a
I'm
dime
not
a
going to
dozen,
spend $1,000 on a
sweetie.
purse,
You
my
hear
own
the
money,
man.
or somebody
The
else's gonna buy
millionaire
for
is
me.
nodding. Dime a dozen.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.